My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my list of my favorite characters from Avatar: The Last Airbender TV show and The Legend of Korra. And this video will include spoilers, so there's your warning. But man, this list was tough coming up with. I picked my 10 favorite, but there were like 6 or 7 others that almost made it. But I like being exclusive with my list. I don't do honorable mentions. So let's just get into it. And my 10th favorite character from this universe is Varric. I just think he has such a unique presence to him. His comedic delivery is always on point, and I just love the old-fashioned vibe of this character. John Michael Higgins just plays him to perfection, and anytime he was on screen, I was always enjoying myself. One of my favorite moments is when he's in prison in season 2, and it's just like his home, and he's just like, well, I designed this place. Didn't you think I would have prepared for this? And I'm like, oh man, this character's great. He might not have the most depth or the most nuance behind him, but he's an entertaining presence, and that's why I love him. So that's why he's my 10th favorite character. My 9th favorite character is Azula. And unlike Zuko, there's nothing sympathetic about her. She's not misunderstood. She's just a straight up psychopath. And that's exactly what this show needed. You barely see the Fire Lord, so you really needed someone else to be the constant threat throughout seasons 2 and 3, and Azula fits that bill perfectly. She's a complete badass, she's menacing, and I just think that she is the perfect villain for so much of this series, so that's why she's my 9th favorite. And speaking of villains, my 8th favorite is Zahir. Now this is a character I liked when I watched The Legend of Korra Season 3, but he has sat really well with me. I think this character is one of those villains who's not just like, ha ha ha, I'm evil. He truly believes he's doing the right thing. And there's a certain patience to him that I find to be very refreshing. Like when he first confronts Korra in the spirit world, he doesn't just break out and fight her. No, instead, he tells her exactly what she wants to hear, what his plan is, what his motivations are. So you got the big villain exposition, but it's also brilliant because he's keeping her busy in the spirit world. So it also shows just how smart he is. And I love how his motivation is that he believes chaos is natural order, and he wants to bring that here. I just think there's a level of depth to that motivation, and he's a definite physical threat. Like, the guy nearly kills Korra, and it has ramifications all the way up until the end of season 4, and understandably, like, this guy is menacing, he's well written. I just think he was a fantastic villain. Speaking of Korra, my 7th favorite character is Korra, and she's actually someone who almost didn't make this list because I find her to be completely unlikable in season 2. And to be honest, for a good chunk of this show, she's arrogant, she's hard-headed. Yeah, you kind of root for her, but she can be really unlikable at times. But I feel like her character work in season 4 was just exceptional. She almost died, and she's just dealing with the weight of that, and it just felt very human. It's the most personal this character has ever felt. She has to humble herself, and she allows herself to be more sympathetic and compassionate, and she also becomes the most powerful version of herself, and it was just a very satisfying end to her character arc. So that's why she's my 7th favorite. My 6th favorite is General Iroh, Zuko's uncle. This guy is just the best kind of mentor somebody could have. He's patient, he's guiding, and he's just such a wise old man. Like, he's clearly gone through so much in life, and he has a true understanding of what in life matters, and he tries to pass that down. And even when Zuko pushes back time and time again, he doesn't lose patience. He keeps trying. And I love that line when him and Zuko reunite. Well, Zuko says he thought he was mad at him, and he says, "No, I was sad. I thought you lost your way." He just has love for his nephew, and I just think he's just a warm hug personified as a character. My favorite character is Sokka. As a comedic relief, he really works for me. It took me a while to get used to him, but man, he really worked in balancing out all the characters, and he just has so much personality and energy. He livens the show up whenever he's on screen, and I also love how he kind of feels out of his element, pun intended. Aang is the Avatar, Katara waterbends, Toph is an Earthbender, and he has nothing to contribute. So how he really wants to prove himself in Season 3, I thought was a satisfying character decision, and yeah, I really like this character. My fourth favorite character is Aang, the Avatar himself, the last Airbender himself. It took me a while to like this character when I first watched the show, but I really started to like him. Like, he's a kid and he has so much to learn, not just about his powers, but about being human. And as we watch him gain more powerful, he's also gaining more life experience, so he can be wiser and being a more than capable leader. And I just really love watching this character overcome these obstacles to become the Avatar we know he was meant to be. I think this character has lots of personality. He's really funny. And I also love how he really truly cares for everyone around him. Even his Sky Bison. Like, when Appa is gone and he loses control for just a few moments, it is the best moment of the show. And yeah, like, it took me a little bit to warm up to him, but I really liked him by the end. Then we get to my third favorite character in this franchise, and it's Katara. She kind of acts like a mother to everyone because she's patient, she's guiding, she's a good teacher, and she's the glue that keeps Team Avatar together. I think she has lots of personality, but I just love how strong-willed she is and how she's a complete badass. And I just think that this is such a well-written character who rises to the occasion every chance she gets. And I thought the romance with her and Aang was really sweet at times. And I just am a big fan of this character and the dynamic she adds to the group. So that's why she's my third favorite. Speaking of dynamic with the group, Toph is my second favorite. Look, I was starting to like this show more with Season 2, but when Toph comes in, that's when I fell in love with it. I think this character is so well balanced. How she's a powerful earthbender, but she's blind. So she's a threat, but she's not overpowering, so it's very entertaining to have her fight. But also just how independent she is, how self-reliant she is, and how that affects the group's dynamic, I thought was really refreshing, as she has to learn to work with them as she truly comes to care for them. And even in The Legend of Korra, when we see her decades later, she's older, she's wiser, but she's still the same Toph we know and love, and that was nice to see. So that's why she's my second favorite character. But my favorite character is, you know who it is, it's Zuko. Zuko is the absolute best. He's a character with the most amount of depth and nuance. Like, when I first saw him, I thought he was so generic, but as the series progressed, it peels back the layers of him, one by one, until you just understand who he is. He's only ever wanted approval, and the only way he thinks he can gain his dad's honor back is to get the Avatar. And ever since his mom was taken from him, he's just lived a loveless life and how deeply that affects him. And he's someone who you watch make the wrong decision time and time again, but you're still hoping for the best for him. You're still sympathetic towards him. And when he eventually redeems himself, it is so satisfying, and I love how human he comes across in those moments. He also has lots of personality, and by the end, I love how he gone from hating Hank and wanting to kill him to genuinely being friends with him. And just watching that transformation take place over 3 seasons, you buy each and every beat of it, and it feels owned, and it's got some real emotion behind it. So that's why he's my favorite character. But what are your favorite characters from this franchise? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin.